Anyway, let's move on now to this story. This is the Scottish Daily Express.
Just cancelling my Liza Minnelli concert.
The Scottish Daily Express. This one's for you, Josh. I bet you had to do a lot of research for this story.
Yeah, so this is quite interesting. Frankie Boyle challenged by a fellow comic to publish an image of Mohammed on his social media. And this is another comic not as famous as Frankie Boyle, probably one of my favourite comics in the UK, maybe the world. Kind of one of those comics who's like not necessarily famous, but recognised by his peers as a genius, a forward thinker, truth teller.
And he's challenged this genius. Frankie Boyle.
Yeah, challenged Frankie Boyle.
They're thinking Louis Schaefer right now.
Okay, well, it wasn't Lewis. It was a guy called Josh Hoyle.
Yeah, it actually says Josh Hoyle in the article.
Josh Hoyle.
But do we have the tweet? If we've got an image of the tweet, we might be able to look at this.
There's the tweet.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
But it's actually Josh Howie!
Yay!
And Josh has said, I've known and liked Frankie for a long time, but if Islamists aren't real and Islamists aren't a problem in the UK, then I challenge him to post the Hebdo cartoon, as in the cartoon of the Prophet Mohammed. I'll even make it easier, just post a handsome, heroic image of the Prophet Mohammed. Because Frankie Boyle was saying, Josh, that any time he hears the word Islamism, he assumes there's going to be a racist.
Yeah, and it sort of dismisses the issue. We have to be able to talk about problems to be able to deal with them.
Yeah.
And just to sort of... And this is, of course, what the left or the far left have done with so many issues, trans stuff. They go, oh, you're transphobic, and we can't actually really talk about these issues with adults. Yeah. And in this case, of course, there is an issue with Islamists. And we've seen terrorist attacks, and we're seeing now mobs out on the streets and attacking, putting calls of genocide on.
I mean, I'd love for Frankie Boyle to sit in a room with the teacher from Batley Grammar School, who is still in hiding 3 years on, from a lesson on free speech in which he simply showed that image from Charlie Hebdo, and for Boyle to say to him, mate, there's no problem here. I don't know what you're worried about.
Yeah,
that would be really interesting.
And that was exactly what I was thinking in the shower when I composed that.
Well, you made the mistake of
like when I thought I'm going to. Now it's awkward because I've known Frankie for like 20 years. I've worked for him. I've worked with him. He's a great comic. We're friends. If you get us talking about comic books, we're going to be chatting here all night. But we have fundamental differences.
Yeah, but we need to be able to talk about them. And
we should be able to.
The problem is that a tweet like the one he put out is designed to stifle speech. It's basically saying, if you want to talk about these sensitive and important issues, you're just a racist, and we can call you a racist.
Absolutely.
And therefore, no one's going to talk about it. And Lewis, that is a problem, isn't it? Because this basically throws women under the bus. It throws gay people under the bus. It throws victims of Islamist intimidation under the bus.
And most importantly, Jews.
And Jews. Which I wasn't going to mention, but I knew Josh would bring it up. So why wouldn't you want to side with those marginalised people? Why would you turn against them in this?
Well, that's the problem. You've spoken about it many times. It's the intersectionality of the whole thing. Things can only meet at certain points, and then they don't quite work anymore. You know, you can maybe think, what is it, putting a round peg in a square hole or something. There's a huge difference. The thing about Frankie Boyle is he's taken a side. It's a left side, and the left side generally accepts the other side.
Yeah, but why did the left stop looking out for gay people, women, Jewish people, and those who are attacked by terrorists?
That's the most mental thing of the last few years. When you see, like, queers for Palestine. Yeah. It's like, you go to Gaza, you will be murdered.
Yeah.
It makes absolutely no sense. No.